This is Kay Kritiques. Hello everybody and welcome to the K-Maps channel. We are back again with another episode of Kay Kritiques, where we discuss all things South African television. Now today we are reviewing and recapping Outlaws Season 1, Episode 19 to 22. I have been slacking these past few weeks. I have been watching the episodes on time, but I haven't been recording. But I am actually glad that I waited until episode 21 and 22 came out, because it would have been such a waste for me to actually release episode 19 and 20 only for me to find out everything that I found out in episode 21 and 22. So I'm actually glad that I'm doing a joint review of these episodes, because the writers done pissed me off. But without any further ado, let us get into this mess. As we last left off, Leruo went to Johannesburg in the previous episode to pursue a career in mining, and Sihle is currently in Lesotho looking for Leruo. So I was actually wondering, how are the writers gonna make Sihle and Leruo find each other? Because it's gonna be a wild goose chase at this point, where Sihle is looking for somebody who's not even in Lesotho. But anyways, let us get into it. These episodes more so focused, episode 19 and 20 more so focused on Leruo's journey and Sihle's journey. We didn't really get to see a lot of everything that was going on in KZN, but let me just get into it because it wasn't really that much. So Bandile and Nolwandle are in the process of actually selling the farm, because Bandile in the previous episodes had decided, you know what, our safety is more important, so let me sell this farm. The real estate agent is gonna come and told them they're gonna get about a few million rand, but obviously they know the true value of the farm, so they were expecting actually a bit more. Bandile is a bit offended by the price that the real estate agent offers, and is like, you're telling me that my father's sweat, blood and tears is gonna amount to this small amount? Nah, get out of here. So he now is struggling with, okay, we want to sell the farm, but at least let us sell it at a decent price so that we're able to live. He then goes to Kwanele's dad and they talk it out. Dlamini actually offers to buy the farm for them at a very handsome price, and even offers to move them to Durban and for Bandile to get a job at one of his companies in a managerial position. This sounds like a good deal, right? But I felt like, no, don't sell it to him, because you're going to be signing a deal with the devil. They literally agreed. They are all in agreement. There's about to be a celebration where everybody's celebrating the sale. Bandile goes into the backyard. He comes across this tree where him and his dad were actually planting this tree that has now grown tremendously. They're planting the tree, and his dad was telling him in the past that, man, I grew up here and I raised you guys here, and now you're raising your child here. This tree is going to be around for all future generations to be able to come in here and get shade under this tree. And Ubandile was like, man, I don't think Dad and Mom would want me to sell this farm, especially knowing the hard work that went into them, because the reason why the dad and the mom actually bought this farm and made it into something is for the kids and the future generation. So it's like, now we're going to be taking that away to give to somebody, where somebody can fire me at any point in time. We're going to give up our freedom. We're going to give up our time. It was really going to be hard moving from one norm to another, because it was going to be a very big culture shock. And then Bandile comes to a decision that, you know what, I cannot sell you this farm. So anyways, back to our lovebirds. Leruo now is in Johannesburg, and they are now waiting for Addington. Addington arrives, takes them to his house where he lives with his girlfriend Akona, this other Zulu woman that he met that side. The following day, they all go to this abandoned mine. Addington actually admits, he's like, you know what, I kind of sort of oversold you guys. The mine that I was working at closed down quite a few years ago, so now we are amazamazama, we are mining illegally. And as they're getting ready to work, they're being initiated. There's this Sangoma who comes and is like, you guys are going to be strong with this concoction that I'm going to put on you. Nobody's going to be able to kill you. As soon as he says that and he's pouring the concoction over their heads, there's a shootout and he's the first person to die. And it's like, why don't you use your own muti on yourself? Now they're involved in a shootout. And I'm just like, imagine it's your first day at work. You're involved in a shootout on your first day of work. I would have literally just given up and be like, you know what, just shoot me, because what? Addington is like, yeah, it's some people who want to take over this mine and there's fight over it because everybody wants to be involved. But they survive and they're like, you know what, wait, hell, let's go back home, it's safe. Meanwhile, Sihle in Lesotho is still on her quest. She has a radiator problem. One thing about Sihle in Lesotho, she's gonna have car problems. These two guys, they come along, they try to rob her, and there's this badass woman who starts shooting at them, and her name is Leita. I think that's how you pronounce it. She comes along, helps Sihle with everything. It's like, take your stuff, you're gonna come stay with me until we get your car fixed. You can't stay out here, it's unsafe. And word actually gets around that there's a doctor around here. So now they open a mini clinic where she sees people, prescribes medications, help people with their pain, which is very good to see. I was like, okay, if she actually moved to Lesotho, this is what she could be doing, helping the less privileged. And also there's such a demand for it, because there's not really a lot of access to healthcare in that community. While she's busy looking for a man, doctoring people in Lesotho, Bandile is in hell on the other side, because he just disappointed his wife. He just told everybody that he's not going to sell the farm. He's worried about her because nobody knows where she is. Phumzile covered for her and was like, oh yeah, she went to Durban to see a few friends. So then now Bandile is calling her like, Sihle, I know that you're not well. Please do let me know you're safe. I don't know, maybe the Sotho raiders got a hold of you and they're holding you hostage. So get back to me and let me know that you're safe. Sihle is busy looking for indoda in Lesotho that time. So we actually found out that Ulita is actually Addington's wife. So this man was literally cheating on his wife, who's at home, looking after the kids, looking after the home, busy bragging, my husband this, my husband that. Meanwhile, he's in a whole new relationship in Johannesburg. After God fear men, the cousin knows Leruo, Tseole from Moretlo, and shows Sihle the way, and she goes there. It's right around the time that Leruo is coming back from Johannesburg. He just got back from Lesotho. His mom is not there, nobody's home, and then he hears a knock on the door. Knock, 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 and there's Sihle by the door, and she's like, Dumela Muratua waka. Hey! I was so happy. I'm like, my ship is sailing nicely. We are cruising smoothly. I was like, nothing can bring us down, okay? Kanti, I didn't know there's still gonna be episode 21 and 22. Tim Sofufane, we cannot catch a break. We cannot catch a break. These people are breaking up every 2 seconds. They're always having troubles and problems every 2 seconds. Couldn't you just give us 2 seconds of joy? Couldn't you just give us 2 seconds of happiness where we just enjoy our ship? At least 2 weeks of them being together and being all lovey-dovey. Anyway, so now they are reunited. They're all lovey-dovey. They're all up on each other. Leruo can't believe it. How did you find me? And she tells him the whole story. We're all on cloud 9, okay? Our ship is back. Sihle and Leruo are happy. Sihle has finally found that thing that has been missing, because she doesn't feel it with the Kwanele, even though she's supposed to be planning her wedding with the Kwanele. She's in Lesotho with the love of her life, while Kwanele is busy planning Umshado. Uteko is actually worried about Sihle finding out. She's like, Mona Leruo, didn't you break up with Sihle? You were supposed to shut the door in her face. You weren't supposed to let her in because now you're going to get us all in trouble. You're putting us all at risk, and now she actually knows where you live. And this boy, the one who Leruo was supposed to be training to shoot a gun and to raid, actually sees Sihle and Leruo and goes to tell Tlali. Tlali, for someone who's winning, he's very, very, very worried about what Leruo's doing with his life. Why do you care who he's with at his house? But Nyakalo was also so pissed. And I'm like, yeah, she's not over him. If you were trying to use Tlali to make Leruo jealous, he never loved you. So then anyways, later in the middle of burying Addington because they found his body, Tlali goes to her, gives her some money. He's like, Addington was my friend, blah, blah, blah. And then he actually ends up threatening her because it's like, there's a doctor who came to stay here. Everybody found out about this doctor and I want you to tell me where she's from, blah, 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 all of this. And when he finds out that she's from Okabeni, he goes and tells her the whole truth. But not the whole truth, because he put some twists in there. He was like, Leruo wanted more cows and he was being selfish and greedy. And then he goes back for more cows and he killed your parents. Meanwhile, he's the one who killed her parents. I'm like, Daddy, get out of my face, man. Why are you lying? Like, it was already bad enough. All you could have said was, Leruo is the one who led the raiders that killed your parents. I think Daddy raised a good point. Like, how do you feel knowing that the man that you think you love, the man that you're sharing a bed with, he knows who you are, he knows that he killed your parents and all this stuff, but he's still messing around with you, not telling you the truth, knowing exactly who you are. This was the perfect opportunity for Leruo to actually come clean about everything and tell Sihle, listen, it was a mistake, this is what happened, and I also shot you. Like, this is the time for him to actually come clean about everything, but he didn't. Obviously, Sihle, when she finds out, she's devastated. But I do want to say, and I want to reference back to my episode 1 to 5. And I did say, Tlali is going to find out about Sihle and Leruo, and he's going to be the one to spill the beans to Sihle. And as soon as it happened, I was like, I knew it. I didn't expect for it to happen this way, but I knew that it was going to happen. All the predictions that I'd made earlier that I felt like, oh, the writers are going in a different direction and I was completely wrong, I actually have a feeling that they're all going to be right. And I'm going to tell you guys every single time that I called it. I actually just wanted to point that out because I am amazing. Back at Okabeni, Nolwandle is mad at Bandile for not selling the farm. She actually feels like Bandile doesn't care about their safety, doesn't care about their family, doesn't care about their daughter. And she decides that she's going to leave with Umbali to go to her parents' house so that they're safe. And while he sorts himself out, Bandile at this point in time feels so isolated. He feels so alone because everybody's left. Sihle's nowhere to be found. She hasn't answered her phone. Nolwandle also left with her child. Her family, Bandile and Uncle Emmanuel, are also mad because he decided not to sell the farm. Literally, he's feeling like he has nobody. He goes to his parents' grave. He's busy talking there, trying to get some clarity. Who else do we see in these episodes? Kwanele. Kwanele, really? Like, why are you here? I'm like, Kwanele, I do not want to see your face right now. But Kwanele was really worried about Sihle. Nobody knows where she is. He wants her back. And the dad is like, no woman who's engaged or kokeli lobolo se ganile basically is not going to tell her future husband where she is, her whereabouts. That means she's either busy or she's busy with another man. So you need to move on. And I think Kunene takes those words to heart. But then back to Bandile, he's sitting there in the garden just feeling sad and lonely. And Sihle arrives back home. It's like, where were you? She's like, I was in Durban with my friends. I just needed some space, blah, blah, blah. And Bandile's like, but you were hurt. How could you just leave all alone? are you okay? Blah blah blah. Sihle's like, yeah, I'm back home and I'm here for you. Where's everyone? He explains. Also then explains that since Sihle broke off the engagement and no longer wants to be with Kwanele, Ubab Dlamini wants his lobola money back and the 2 million back. And I called this as well. I think back in episode 6 to 12 review. The 2 million, he had said no, the debt is forgiven, but I just knew he's gonna want his money back. It's a pride thing. That is episode 19 to 22. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. It was a twist and turn on this Outlaws journey. Things are getting heated now. I don't really know what's gonna happen right now, but I do have a feeling that Sihle is going to try and go back to Kwanele because of the 2 million. And I also want to see more of Uleta. I want to see more of her. She was such a badass. She was such a great character. And I hope she wasn't just introduced for them to push the story. I really do hope that Sihle actually is able to go back and give back to that community and also build that friendship. And I have a feeling that Addington's death is going to come back to haunt Leruo. I also do feel like the Zama Zama journey was very short. Leruo needed to stay in Johannesburg a little bit longer. We needed some tension. We needed some angst. Because he literally went there for 10 minutes of episode 19. And then he was back and then they got back together again. And I like how they introduced Lita Addington. I think that was done very beautifully. They executed it very beautifully. But I'm not even gonna lie, enjoy these episodes as much as Leruo and Sihle are no longer together and I'm team Sifufane. I think for right now it's for the best. I don't think Leruo and Sihle are supposed to be together because of many other factors. I don't think they're gonna be together, but we love some toxicity around here, so we want them together. Team Sifufane for the win. I actually really do hope that Sihle doesn't go back to Kwanele because she doesn't love Kwanele. As much as I have been saying since the beginning of Outlaws that I feel that Sihle is using Leruo as an escape from her parents' death, from her relationship. As much as she broke up with Leruo, which is valid, but also just don't get back with Kwanele. You get what I'm trying to say? But I actually want to see how this is going to develop and if Sihle is going to find out that Kwanele and the dad were actually a part of this. They're complicit in this crime of her parents dying. I want to see how that is going to come out. Tlali, I feel like Tlali's downfall is closer than we actually know. He's getting too cocky and he cares too much about what Leruo thinks, and I feel like Leruo is going to be the one to bring him down because why would you tell Sihle all those lies? But yeah guys, that is Outlaws episode 19 to 22. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below and I will see you guys in the next one.